how to create your own media company. Your flight's delayed, your bags are lost, you're at Pearson Airport here in Toronto. Some insights on how to be your own media with Paralympian, professional speaker, author Kevin Rempel on the Reinvention Chronicles.
My name is Kevin Rempel. I'm a Paralympic athlete and an inspirational public speaker. You never know by looking at me, but I was actually paralyzed 7 years ago. After crashing my dirt bike, I was in a wheelchair and doctor said I was never going to walk again. I've had to deal with my paralysis, my dad's paralysis, overcoming my dad's suicide, and just maintaining a positive attitude through all this to actually want to achieve bigger and better things and not give up.
Just got off a flight from Chicago and delayed here at Pearson. I run into an old friend. Kevin Rempel is here. Good to see you, my man. Kevin, I got to tell you, your success in creating your own media company, in my estimation, is something that not just speakers and authors and professional trainers and corporate training people like you can do. It's to me something that's universal for any business, anyone in any size of business, big business, small business. And I'll tell you, Kevin has built an audience of what, 15,000 people, something like that?
Yep.
In different platforms like Instagram, like Facebook and YouTube and whatnot. So Kevin, I just love to hear your thoughts. Because here we are stuck in the airport, we got time and we got stories to tell about how being your own media has impacted your business.
Well, the thing that I think people are surprised at when I talk to them now is, well, number one, to give some context, I created, besides my public speaking that I do, I created a corporate team building experience around sledge hockey, the sport that I played in, which is a Paralympic sport, a disabled sport. And when I started that, I was even saying to myself, what are you thinking? Who does that?
Right.
But in 2 years, not only is the business flying, but I'm getting inbound business. I'm doing no sales whatsoever. All of my business is inbound, and it's 100% coming through social media.
And that's interesting because when you talk about sledge hockey, for example, and doing the kind of work you're doing, let's face it, Kevin, if there's a micro niche area.
Oh, it is. It's 100% it is.
100%. So if you're in a micro niche category, doesn't matter what it is.
Well, that's the best opportunity.
Okay.
If you're in a niche category, that's the best chance you can have of going deeper versus going wider and making a connection with your audience, because they're going to resonate and get exactly what you're talking about. I don't care. Yes, I want to also market to the hockey community, because I know that if you're going to be a hockey fan, you'll be a sledge hockey fan. But I don't care about, obviously, all sports. It's I love that I have a very, very narrow audience, because they'll pay attention. Mm-hmm. And if you can focus on them versus trying to please everyone, now all of a sudden, having 100 meaningful relationships on Instagram versus 1,000 that don't matter is way more important.
And I get to tour different parts of North America, and I get to talk about how, by and large, how traditional marketing is dead. It's a 6-decade-old profession that's being blown up every day by social media, and you're actually proving it, Kevin. And I know you've had some influences, people like Gary Vaynerchuk and some others.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just look at everybody as a lot of people who have built personal brands online, from Elliot Hulse, who's a bodybuilder, to Eric Thomas, a public speaker down in the States. For sure, Gary's been massive influence. Even watching Dan Martell, I mean, I see what he does with tech. I learn from his tech information, and he's creating content for tech specifically, but learning about those principles gets me drawn in even. So, I mean, just falling into love with people's personal brands, I think, is what where we're headed and what's making this new technology age so special.
At what point did you realize that video-based storytelling was the future of marketing?
Gary Vaynerchuk really helped it click for me. I don't know
But how long ago was that?
Well, before I even played in Sochi, I already knew that I should be doing it, but I didn't have the confidence to follow through with it. So 2012, 2013, I was like, oh, this is a good idea. I should be doing more of this. But developing that confidence to start is, I think, where a lot of people struggle, and I did for a while.
And that's a common pattern that I hear from other people who are trying to get their feet wet in this space. If you had some advice, Kevin, for any business owner, it doesn't matter. Let's just say they could be running a doggy boutique an auto detailing center. It wouldn't matter what would look into the camera. What would you say? The 3 things you got to know about creating your own media, being your own media.
Number one, it just comes so easy to my mind in the sense of like, number one, be ready, willing, and able. Be ready to put yourself out there, be willing to, and just like go for it. If you don't accept that you're going to be uncomfortable, if you're not willing to fail, you'll never get this. But all of us, no matter how good, had to overcome some sort of fear to begin. And that would bring me to point number 2, is to just start. It's just put yourself out there, just try it and see what works, and then constantly improve. Is that you don't know what's going to click, how your personality is going to come out, how to fix your stutter until you see yourself on camera. So just start would be the second point. And the third thing is just be consistent. And I'm not consistent, and I want to say I want to do it every day, and there's days I can't. But be consistent over the long term of continually trying to put yourself out there, because you never know when something that you might think about doesn't mean squat to you. I put out tons of stuff that I think is boring as hell. But then all of a sudden, like, that might just be what hooks on with so many other people, and you're like, oh wow, they want more of that content. But if you had quit because you felt like you weren't important, or what you had to say wasn't important, you would never have learned that.
I don't want to put you on the spot or embarrass you in any way, but I know that so much more of Kevin's business, in fact, all of Kevin's business is now inbound. In other words, they email
right now,
you.
Everything I'm doing is inbound.
And you're hiring people now, and you're expanding your organization. Kevin, if people want to know how to get a hold of Kevin Rempel, the Sledge Hockey Experience, follow you on Instagram, where do they go?
My personal brand is just kevinrempel.com, at Kevin Rempel on all social media. And for Sledge Hockey, playsledgehockey.com, and Sledge Hockey EXP on Instagram. That's the best place to go.
He's making a difference on and off the ice, online and off, and thank you so much for doing this, my friend.
Thanks so much.
Kevin Rempel, and hopefully some of these ideas will help you create your own media company and reinvent the business and the brand and the career that you deserve.